What's up, y'all? It's Truth Tiger. I'm back with another video. And when you're a chosen one of God, when you're truly enlightened, when the Spirit of God is truly with you, when you're a true follower of Jesus Christ, man, it's just your vibe is different, your countenance is different, your glow is different, and man, people just cannot stop staring. And I've had people staring at me so much, it's been honestly getting me pretty uncomfortable. I had one the other day where it was a couple and they both at the same time, like in perfect timing, they both stared at me. They're both stare. I was so creeped out, I was so weirded out. I was like, oh my God, what is going on here? These people are both staring at me at the exact same time. This is just way too weird, and I'm having so many people look at me. I've had a few people come up and talk to me, which is cool, but for the most part, they'll stare at me, and they'll stare at me for like 3 seconds straight. Like, count to 3 Mississippi, like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Man, that's like a long time to just be like staring at somebody, like just eyes on you, like, and then I'll look at them, they'll look away, they'll pretend like it's not happening. Or man, I'm even having people follow me around and stuff. Like, they'll see me and then they'll turn around and start walking next to me and trying to talk and be my friend and all this stuff. And I'm cool with them, but like, it makes me really uncomfortable, and I don't want to like be mean and tell them to go away or whatever, and a lot of these people also kind of were haters at first, so I don't want to do that. But it's just weird, and I've had a few people do that. And I even had a girl who I tried talking to, and then all of a sudden she's like, hey, do I know you? And I was just like, all right, whatever. And then all of a sudden she's, hanging around people I know, and she's at a spot I'm at, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, all right, this is weird. This person's now lingering. First that she rejects me, and she's lingering around me all strange. I had another thing with a guy where he got introduced to me by somebody else, and then he just stared at me instead of saying hi. And then now this individual's like following me around and stuff, and it's just weird, and it's getting more intense too. And luckily at my place nobody's doing it, but I do have concerns. At an old apartment I had, where there were some kind of sketchy people there, I was being watched and gang stalked and stuff over there a bit. Not gang stalked, it wasn't a coordinated effort, but I did have certain individuals kind of do some stalking stuff. Like, I was on a bike trail. I think I talked about this in another video, but I was on a bike trail, and I'm walking, and this dude this is at night too, he's just behind me on his bike, slowly, for like a minute straight. I thought he was gonna pass me. Finally, I stepped to the side off the trail, and I literally stop, and he rides past me, like staring at me as he rides by. And I'm just like, it's like, are these people robots? Are they NPCs? Like, what's going on? It's beyond strange. And I know I'm not the only one, because I've watched other videos about this. I've heard other people talk about this, and it's mega strange. And I've had some girls stare at me that I thought were cute, and I went to go talk to them, and then they're very weird, standoffish, strange. And it's like, hey, you were staring at me, thought you were cute, we're talking. And I mean, they were happy to have me come up and talk to them, but it's just the actual conversation was weird. And I don't know, the vibe I got off them was strange. It just wasn't it, and it's just like, man, this is just the oddest thing. This is just the weirdest thing. And I had, there was a lady I was sitting and eating lunch with, not romantically or anything like that, just someone who was a friend, and we're eating lunch, and then all these freaking people are staring, and she's like, oh my God, everybody is staring at us. Like, I'm like, yeah, welcome to my life. This happens to me daily. And the thing is, like, I got kind of a poppin' outfit right now, but like, if I wore a black shirt, black baseball cap, black, if I wore just the most nondescript outfit, it would still happen. Maybe not quite as much, but it would still happen. And it's just like people will be like doing something and they'll look up at me, then they'll look down, and it's just well, it's mega strange. It's mega creepy. It's just so odd, and I'm really happy that these fools have not gotten together and have not done some kind of a coordinated gang stalking thing for me, because that would just be frustrating and annoying to deal with. And the thing is also, like, I'm not an extroverted out there kind of guy. I'm very introverted. I'm like a cat. Like, I don't have any friends. I keep to myself. I don't really have much patterns in what I do in life. Like, I don't go to the same stores a lot. Like, I purposely do a lot of stuff to try to shake this kind of thing off and to not have this dynamic happen in my life, you know, but it still does. And I'm like, man, if I was like a people kind of person, if I was an extrovert, if I was like, you know, someone who was like, you know, said hi to everybody and was hella friendly and whatnot, like, man, this would be bad. I'd have people following me around everywhere. Like, it would be a mad creepy situation, you know. And like, if people want to approach me face to face and be like, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I've had a few people come up to me, oh, I like your hat, you know. I've had a few people come up to me, bump my fist, whatever. You know, a girl come up to me, oh, you look cute, whatever. I've had a few of those people, but like, that's like maybe 1% to 2%. Like, the vast majority of them are like, they want to stare at me like I'm some animal in the zoo or something, you know. They don't want to actually get to know me or anything like that. They just want to look at me at a distance and be like, isn't he so fascinating? You know, and it's just, and I'll catch people sometimes and they'll act like it's not happening and stuff, but it's just so weird. And again, like, I am a very introverted kind of person. I am like a cat. I just kind of do my own thing. I'm like a ghost. I'm like a shadow, you know, like, my energy is so quiet, it's so chill, you know, and people are still doing this, and I'm just like, oh my God, you know, it's just odd, you know. And now, like I've said, I've had people start to follow me around and stuff too, and I don't like that, you know. I don't like it. It's mad creepy. And like, I put my shoes on 1 foot at a time. I would say I'm a relatively handsome or physically attractive person, but I'm not like some, you know, male model going down the street of like someone who's like that, you know, like, you know what I mean? It's not like, you know, if it was like that and I had this perfect body and I was just like so handsome or whatever, like, that would make sense. But it's just like, it's my glow, it's my spirit, it's my vibe, you know, and that's what they're so into. And it's mad weird. It really is. And I've heard stories from other people that are, you know, really struggling in life and experiencing tough situations and whatever, and they're having it happen to them, you know, and they're having all these people gang stalk them, and they're like, I'm just trying to get off the street, man, like, stop following me around, you know. And it's crazy. So it's not like about money, it's not about looks, it's not about anything ostensible or on the outside like that. There's some kind of spiritual thing they're seeing in us, and they're just like, they can't take their eyes off of it. Like, man, when the Son of Man was on this earth, when Jesus Christ the Lord was on this earth, like, my God, he must have been, there's parts in the Bible that talk about him being kind of sneaky and stealthy and wearing his robe up over his head and kind of like, you know, making sure people aren't following him and stuff like that. But yeah, like, it's crazy. I'm even looking out the window. I'm like, I hope some car's not parked behind me or something, because I have had it where I'm doing a video and I'm in like a parking lot off somewhere and someone starts to walk kind of around my car just to kind of just be close to me a little bit, you know. And I will have that too, where people will walk by me and they'll walk like super close to me, you know, super close by, and just, it's just the cost of being a chosen one, I guess. It's the cost of being blessed, I guess. And most of the time I don't even really notice it. Most of the time I just ignore it pretty much, but sometimes it can get pretty intense. You know, I have people like they're on their phone or computer or reading a book or something, look at me, look back at what they're doing, look at me again, look back at what they're doing, look at me again. I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm like, please. I'll look at them like, hey, I see you too. I know what you're doing. And it's like they can't help themselves, you know? And again, like, people are breaking their necks, you know? Like, I've had one where I was, you know, kind of having a little lunch with a girl who I was interested in, but I wasn't like, this was just like first contact. Nothing was really like happening with it, you know? It was just kind of like, you know, just sitting down, having lunch, no real big romantic vibe, just like a slight possibility of something, you know? And then there's like 5 other women just immediately rubberneck and go, like, all at once. And I'm like, whoa. And they're all just like staring. And I'm like, oh boy, you know? And I get that people will see stuff and will be jealous or will, I don't know, be fascinated or whatever. But it was different. It was like they all rubbernecked all at once. And it was just, yeah, I've had that happen actually on multiple occasions. Not just once, but on multiple occasions I've had that happen. And before I was on the chosen path, before I was close with God, this kind of thing wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't, you know? Like, the only time I've ever had anything like that is I was out with a girl, and this, like, weird drunk guy, like, came up to me and, like, talked a little bit of trash, then kind of, like, slinked off. But we're out at the bars, people are getting drunk and partying, and, like, it's in an environment where, like, stuff like that just happens, you know? Whereas me, like, I'm not going to any bars or clubs or anything like that. Like, it's just normal, everyday stuff, going to a coffee shop, I don't know, whatever, you know, and just kind of living life and vibing with it. And, man, you know, people can't seem to, like, I had another one, this was a while back, but I was at a grocery store, and, you know, I'm by the cookies, and there's a lady by the cookies. I'm by the frozen section, same lady by the frozen section. I'm by the produce, same lady by the produce. And I'm like, oh my God, you know. And I could see this woman, she was like a married woman. She had like a kid or something, I don't know. But it's just like, good God, lady, stop following me around this grocery store. Like, you're driving me crazy right now, you know. Like, and when it happens, there's a visceral feeling of like, you know when it's happening. You know when it's a coincidence, and when someone just happens to be kind of where you're at or whatever. You know when it's just like, oh, this person just kind of happens to be right where I'm at. I bumped into him again. And you know when it's like, oh, this person is locked onto me. Like, at my old place I was at, there were some sketchy people living there, and I'd be out on the porch sometimes smoking a cigarette, and this dude would like pull his car up right in front of my porch and just wait there. Like, I'm like, oh my, and I could feel the vibe. This was no coincidence. He did it multiple times, and I would just kind of keep smoking my cigarette, pretend to not notice him, but be like, all right, like, I'm not gonna go inside and hide from you. You know, you're eventually gonna drive off. And he would drive off, and he kind of rev his engine up a little bit when he did. And I remember just thinking, like, man, this dude's just looking for some trouble or something, you know. And I'm totally not that guy, you know, but this fool's just hanging out acting weird. And I've heard multiple stories of people who always see the same car go by their house. It'll go by their house once, and then you know, 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, the same car comes back. Then it comes back again, and you're like, dude, what are these people doing, you know? And like, I don't keep in touch with anybody I grew up with. I don't keep in touch with my family. Like, I am a ghost. I am a literal ghost. I have no social media, no anything. I am a complete ghost. Other than this YouTube channel, I am a total ghost. And if I wasn't, I really have a feeling that some people I grew up with would visit me randomly. I really have a feeling that I'd be watched more. But even so, just with this random people, it's weird, you know? It really, really is. And I know people who do keep in touch with people they grew up with. They do keep in touch with their families, and, you know, crazy stuff starts to happen because I guess the demons in these people manifest. I guess the evil within them comes out, or I don't know. It's like moths to a flame. But it feels kind of aggressive, though, you know? It feels a little bit hostile. it doesn't just feel like they're just kind of fascinated by you. There's something, it just feels weird. It does. All right, y'all, this was my video about just being stared at and having people follow me and just weird stalkers and stuff. And I'm going to put a pin in it now, but, you know, God bless you all. Thank you all for your support. Thank you all. Thank you all of you who've subscribed. You know, everybody who's watched this video, liked, commented, whatever. Like, I hope I inspired you. I hope I helped you out. And, you know, much love to everybody. And I'll see you all next time.